We bring things to the government that they ordinarily don't find. We do studies, and our studies, you know, if they need something, they can just ask our head office in Peace River. Like we've already, in a couple of places, we've got doctors in for the communities that had no doctors. So we've worked on that and it's worked out well. But we need more doctors and more nurses. And you know, with the boom here in Northern Alberta, it's absolutely phenomenal. We have to have that. They keep saying, well, we'll hire some more. Well, where do you hire them from?
I think there will always be challenges in Northern Alberta, and NADC plays a very vital role, especially with the entrepreneurial type people that we have there. They're looking for, that have an idea and need someone to share it with.
Well, the NADC, of course, has been the backbone, particularly as far as government agencies are concerned, in the promotion of the North.
NADC, I've been involved with NADC for probably, it's hard for me to go back how many years, but it's been at least, I think, 6 or 7 years, as a member of their Northern Alberta Labour Market Information Clearinghouse. That's a group of colleges in the north, as well as the Northern Alberta Development Council, that got together and said, you know what, we can pool our resources.
We started working with NADC as a municipal councillor a number of years ago, probably 15 years ago.
The impact that the NADC has been phenomenal. To relate to it, there used to be grain elevators in every community. Today we see oil derricks, modules going down the highway, hubs, if I could use that term, developing.
A study was done, I think it was a study that NADC did themselves several years ago now, and fully 37.4% of all revenue generated in this province is generated out of Northern Alberta. We have a relatively small percentage of the population of the province, but a significant number as far as revenue generation is concerned.
And NADC has a team of directors and staff that they're able to work with the individuals and municipalities and people in the region to come up with ideas and ways to improve all communities. There's 150 communities, 450,000 people in Northern Alberta, and we need to make sure that it's viable in Northern Alberta that all the opportunities are there.
And I think that we should be very open to change, new technologies, new approaches, etc.
Because the same issues that's happening in the northwestern part of Alberta and the northeastern part of Alberta, a lot of the same issues are there.
NADC has done tremendous work in the areas of railroads, in the area of the need of roads, in the area of need of development, with water, sewer, that type of research and development. They've been the body that's been presenting the case in many, many instances. For example, the bursary program that NADC has put together to help develop some made-at-home type of educated professionals.
I know the bursary programs that NADC have done a phenomenal job to enticing young people to get an education and coming back to work in this area.
Well, they have to work in Northern Alberta to get a bursary for 2 years, and they don't have to pay any of that back, the money that they get. Well, it benefits lots, because it's not all the students that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. You know, you get usually the doctors and the nurses and that, they come from, you know, middle income to low income families.
It enabled me to be able to finish my degree. Well, I think it's an opportunity for people who are have financial burdens, where they can take advantage of the opportunity to be able to pursue an education, because education is not cheap. Trying to break down some of those barriers so that kids can, or adults can pursue education in what they want to do is essential.
The NADC bursary was super important. It really made pursuing an after degree in education worthwhile.
Because I was already residing in Fort McMurray, I knew that this was going to be my home. I've always been a northern girl. I kind of grew up in Lesser Slave Lake and spent time in Peace River, so I'm partial to the north. So it seemed like a win-win situation.
Makes the monetary issue for school a non-issue, because you have it, you're kind of guaranteed that you will get a job doing something like that here anyway, so it actually really does help, I think, anyway.
It can provide financial assistance, and especially we all know going to school is not getting any cheaper, and it's not going to do that. So it can provide that little bit of financial breathing room, as well as the opportunities in the north are unlike any other that I've heard or seen.
Yeah, it's opportunity, and it does break down those barriers for people who don't have the financial means to complete their education, and it does encourage high demand occupations to go back and keep people working in the north.
Well, you will benefit as when I got on here 4 years ago, I think we were giving nurses about $3,500. I think now we're up to about $7,000, $8,000 or $9,000 now, and doctors were about $6,000 and now they're $19,000. But we're low money. We haven't got us any extra money, so I'm fighting for more money.
Government is an important element of any growth and any development, and NADC, of course, has become our champion from the north to present the needs, to identify the needs. Once they're identified, to do the research, present the case, and they've done that in a very significant way. As far as social programming is concerned, NADC has championed the cause of women's shelters, for example, Aboriginal issues, the whole area of the advanced needs of the north. For example, we are in a bit of a more hostile climate than other areas within the country. The distance factor is something that's critical. The whole medical service, the needs of professional services has been strong. The NADC has been a very, very strong advocate of those needs, and consequently they have served an extremely useful function in the growth and development of this area.
Developing Northern Alberta is extremely important on the social side, and economically falls into the same side where we need to have opportunity for growth. We need to be able to pay our bills, and we need to have opportunity and strengths.
The majority of it have been collaborations, sharing of information, and then working together to provide that information to communities and businesses in our region so they can plan properly. The role of Northern Alberta Development Council can take that information and flow it back to the government, expressing the needs and ensuring they're aware of the growth and the needs that are developing, so people in this area are basically well looked after. The information that NADC gathers and spreads through the region enhances the ability for businesses to grow and prosper. So they do a great job in sharing the information and the trends that are developing.
It has definitely had an impact on the information that's been available to the colleges moving forward with program planning and research initiatives, those types of things.
Our research staff in Peace River, I'm amazed at what they can do.
Information is power.
With the role that we're playing in the development of the province, the economy of the province, and basic growth of the province, and this province is growing very dramatically and very quickly, as is this region. NADC, the need for NADC's work is growing with it.
Since I've become employed with the Alberta government, I've seen there's no way I could have fast-tracked my career as quickly as I can in other offices to the south. It's where individuals can go into an entry-level position with not as much perhaps competition, secure that position, the position that they want. It's maybe much more what we call a workers' market, where individuals can pick and choose the type of work they want.
It factors in a huge, the opportunity I have in terms of moving up within my job is probably here about twice as fast as I would get anywhere else in Canada. So that for me was a no-brainer to come back to Fort McMurray to work.
Growth, prosperity, and opportunities.
it's going to keep getting bigger. Grand Prairie hasn't gotten any smaller, and if you look at just, it's a Grand Prairie, Fort Mac, Peace River, they're all patch towns, and if you look at that, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, you've got Fort St. John's getting bigger, Dawson Creek's getting bigger, Fort Nelson's got a lot of stuff going on, Horn River has stuff going on, and most of those jobs are based out of places like Grand Prairie or Dawson or just the northern. And so there's going to be people moving here, jobs opening up, more oil field expansion, and because of that, places are going to get bigger, and it's just, I don't see it's the growth up here slowing down anytime soon.
It's going to continue to grow because we're so diversified. We have forestry, we have energy, we have tourism potential. We're in the development stage of a logistics depot, for example, in this area. In all those cases, NADC has assisted us in developing the case and the need. So NADC is a force that we continue to need as we grow, and will continue to need even though we do continue to have successes, we will continue to need to develop on an ongoing basis.
So for me, the hope is that more people will get beyond the hype and the misinformation that they may have developed about the North, and realize that, you know, it's really worth a shot, and there's some really great opportunity, and you know, I've lived in major centers. I prefer to be here.
I like the more open, I'm a farm kid, and I like being able to just, I'm within 10 minutes I'm out of town. I can take my motorcycles and rip around, and I'm not in amongst skyscrapers, and I really like it up north and out of the big city a lot more.
When I grew up here, it was about 40,000 people, so yeah, it was a bit more homey, and there was less of a turnover growing up, but I wouldn't change that.
The growth and change has been positive. All the signs are for a very positive, sustainable growth in this region, and it is the place to be.
With the youth of the area, the youth of the population, as a matter of fact, the opportunities that are here are boundless.
The future of Alberta is full of opportunity, and they're very entrepreneurial in Northern Alberta, looking at different ways of doing things, and it's just an exciting place to be.
It's opportunity. It's a land of opportunity, really.
Well, this is a land of opportunity, and quite frankly, I can't think of a better place where I'd rather be.
There's no place like it. This area of ours has everything you possibly ever would want. The quality of life, the activities, job opportunities. It's just a fantastic place to raise a family and to work.
This is really the place that I would want to have my family.
The air is clean, and as far as I'm concerned, it's the best place in the world to be.
I see myself growing old up here.